Because of my views on the Middle East. If I had a nickel for every time a midget broke up with me over politics.
Danny, you think you can understand what it means to be Jewish?
Please, I don't even understand what it means to be Lutheran.
You believe in God?
Of course I do. You know I do.
Why?
Why? Because if you believe in God and turns out there's no God, there's no harm, no foul. But if you don't believe in God and it turns out there is one, you're screwed.
What do you think he looks like?
Like me, perhaps thinner.
You think he looks like you?
God made man in his image.
And specifically?
Me.
Why does he allow for all this suffering that goes on?
Overextended. What do you believe?
As to our emotional and practical compatibility.
Did you fire him for seeing the UFO or talking about it?
He was discharged.
Or heaven?
I'm sorry. Could we be any more leading? Perhaps you should whip out one of those leashes you use in... at O'Hare Airport in Chicago, Illinois.
It sounds...
I work as an air traffic controller at O'Hare Airport in Chicago, Illinois.
It sounds like a high-stress job.
You have no idea.
Tell me, sir, on the evening of November 7th, 2006, did you get any calls about, say, extraterrestrials?
I'm sorry. Could we be any more leading? Perhaps you should whip out one of those leashes you use in your recreational pursuits.
Overruled. Sit down, you.
We were contacted by airline supervisor and informed that several of its passengers, as well as a dozen or so of its employees, spotted an elliptical-shaped craft sitting motionless over Concourse C of the United Terminal.
In fact, even the United Airlines pilot claimed to have seen it. Am I right?
You are.
So one wouldn't be considered out of touch with reality.
Hey,
or...
what the hell are you doing?
Ooh, sorry, Your Honor. Remember, it isn't real, it's just wood. Pay no mind.
Wood is flammable. You will not light it.
Mr. Bettman, can you say with all certainty that there wasn't a UFO hovering over O'Hare that night?
Well, I suppose we can't prove a negative, but our conclusion was that it was a weather phenomenon. A low cloud ceiling. A lot of lights in the sky.
This was no weather phenomenon. It hovered, and then it shot through the clouds and left a hole.
A hole?
Dozens of people gave the exact same description, including some mechanics at the airlines. There was something unearthly up there.
And the radar showed nothing.
The FAA won't release the radar data or the voice communications. What are they hiding?
Well, on the X-Files, it was the truth. Great show, wasn't it? How many of you watched the X-Files? Friday night. Lousy time slot.
Silence.
I must say, Jerry.
Oh, no. Let's see here. vacuum. Oh. I guess that's the only way, is it?
In space, nobody can hear you scream.
Is there sound in space? As you have probably heard by now, sound cannot travel through the empty vacuum of outer space because it requires the presence of molecules or particles to move from one place to another.
According to the Big Bang Theory, 13.8 billion years ago, time, space, matter, energy, and everything in between began. The building blocks of everything we see today. theory, NASA...
This episode was proudly made possible by the all-new 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru. Movies in space are awesome, don't get me wrong, except when it comes to sound. But if space is a vacuum, there's no sound. So, maybe space isn't a vacuum. Can you hear me, D-News fans? Hello? Hey, it's Trace here, and I'm not in space. And if you're not in space either, then you should be able to hear me just fine. As regular viewers already know, sound travels using a medium, and sound is a mechanical, longitudinal wave of energy emanating from a vibration. For example, when a guitar string vibrates, the atoms of the metal string hit the atoms around it, and that vibration is passed along to the next and the next until it gets to your ear. Once there, the tympanic membrane or eardrum vibrates at the same frequency, and the tiny bones in your middle and inner ear translate that movement to energy that your brain can interpret. Because all atoms can vibrate like this, sound can travel through solids, liquids, and gases. Outer space, on the other hand, is thought of as a vacuum. The absence of matter, and no matter means no sound. But really, in space, it's more like atom, atom, atom. NASA says there's like 1 atom per cubic centimeter. If you look at all those free-floating atoms and you took them all into account, you'd have 90% hydrogen, 9% helium, and less than 1% of other stuff. Which makes sense considering the makeup of everything we know in the universe, am I right? Even though 1 atom per cubic centimeter might seem like more than you would have thought considering it's a vacuum.
If sound was able to travel through space, you won't believe how loud...
NASA has just released a mind-bending audio recording that captures the sound waves emitted by a massive black hole. Stay till the end to hear it. The groundbreaking audio clip offers a unique perspective on black holes and may help researchers better understand these cosmic phenomena.
Interesting.
Everything is changing, and everything in its essence vibrates, energy, waves. And this body is, in our sensory scale, it appears.
Some of this movement real quick. So if you guys can please roll that real quick. Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr. Nusatelli, real quick yes or no answers. Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
Okay, does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks for providing
Curiosity
that,
kills the cat. All right, Mr. Borland?
Yes, for...
Okay. All right. That is the end of my questioning.
Chief, I was on a ship for a little bit. I was a gunner's mate on the USS Gettysburg for a couple years. My question to you is, when you had your encounter and you saw it on the screen, you were in the CIC, is that correct?
That's correct. On an LCS ship, the CIC is on the bridge, so it's called ICC-1, but yes, the same.
Did a bunch of the other folks in the CIC come and check out what you were looking at?
Yes, we all did. The tactical action officer, myself, the RCO, and two others that were on watch. We were all in the same space, so we were all looking at the Sapphire screen all at the same time.
Because in the other couple instances with the witnesses, you guys just saw it by yourself. Is that correct? Mr. Borland, you saw it by yourself?
For me, yes, sir.
Mr. Nusatelli, you saw this by yourself?
No, there were multiple witnesses in every case at Vandenberg.
Okay. How long did that encounter take place, Chief?
So, the encounter itself, from the time I recognized on my radar to the time after the video ends, was probably about 5 to 7 minutes.
What speed was the object moving at?
When I first witnessed off the port bridge wing the object moving out of the water, what I thought was originally just a light on the water, something on the horizon, and surfacing and going into the air, I then knew it was an air contact. But as an air controller myself, I started thinking, and like my checklist in my mind, could it be a helo? But it's not blinking lights. So I then realized this is something I've never seen before. So the speed itself, just going from the horizon to about maybe 3,000-4,000 feet in the air, was very slow, slowly rising, and then it sped up. I'm not an expert at knowing specific speeds of aircraft just by visual eye, but I would say probably 1-2 Mach instantly into the rest of the formation. I didn't notice visually with my own eyes the other 3 objects until I went back to my radar and also utilized Sapphire to see that in fact there were 4 total. And then again, when they all left after a certain amount of time, it was nearly instantaneous.
So you spotted it visually first, Chief, and then went back to your radar, or did you guys spot it on radar first?
Radar first, because that was my watch station.
And then you went out to the port bridge wing, is that correct?
Correct, to verify what I saw on my radar.
What range was it at, Chief, when you were able to see it visibly?
I would say about 7 nautical miles, 7 to 8 nautical miles of a light from the ship.
Wow. Thank you. I yield back.
Chief Wiggins, you said that it emerged from the ocean. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And before it did, it was glowing. It was a glowing object under the water.
That part I couldn't tell because it was nighttime at 1915 approximately, and it was also at a distance. So it's very hard to tell the difference between something on the horizon and something surfacing from the water. My personal thoughts after seeing what I saw is that it did in fact come from the water, but I don't have visual evidence showing exactly, that it did in fact come from the water. But I had to go through my process of elimination and try to figure out, was this a ship on the horizon just showing its lights at night, but to see it surface, then it made me question, okay, where did this come from? If it's flying and it's not a drone or anything like that, where was its origin? Where did it start?
Mr. Knapp, in your